Hey, welcome back to Crack's Country Cooking. I'm Ben, and today I'm going to show you how I made this.
A red wine balsamic glazed pork loin on the Weber rotisserie.
So we're going to take this pork loin. We're going to cut down the bone back here. Once we get to the rib bones, we'll start to cut down. Basically what we want to do is we want to open this up almost to the end. There we go. You can see. All right, that's as far as you want to go. I'm going to just about here. I'm going to take some Killer Hogs AP rub, and we're going to season it inside. You can be generous. Pork is pretty bland. Here's your ribs. We're not going to do anything with the membrane. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut straight through here, right about where this eye is. We're going to cut right above all the rib bones. Don't want to go too far and go into where we cut this to. Then cut in between each bone. What we're doing here is we're just Frenching it. See anything hanging off the bottom, you can cut that off too. Maybe you just want to clean up the bone the best you can. You don't have to do this, but it looks nicer. You don't have to go too crazy with that. You can spend more time if you want cleaning it up, but you really don't have to. So now what we'll do is we'll take some of this butcher's twine and we'll tie between each bone. Now what we'll do is we'll just take whatever the excess string is and we'll just trim that right off. We're going to take some more of this AP seasoning, coat the outside. Like I said, you can be generous. It's pork, it's pretty bland. And we'll do the underside too, why not? I don't like this piece right here, so I'm going to trim that off because it's just going to burn. We'll just re-season it. We're going to be using the Weber rotisserie attachment for this, so we need to get the spit. So I'll take it and I'll center it first. Figure this is the edge of the Weber, so right about there should be pretty close. Doesn't have to be precise. Look at that, I look like a Ninja Turtle. All right, so you want to get about center. That's about center. Then you want to pick it up. It's pretty close. So this one we'll put on upside down because it'll be through the thicker part. There's that. Now let's go get the Weber set up. We'll let this tack up and get ready. So we're going to use one of the Weber charcoal baskets and some Jealous Devil charcoal. Take some of these cotton balls that we made in a previous video. They're cheap, you can use a couple of them. They'll stick right to the side. Light those. Let this go for about 10 minutes. They don't need to be completely ashed over. We'll put our rotisserie attachment on. Let this go for like 10 minutes, like I said, and then we'll throw the roast on. So once the smoke has died down a little bit, Put an aluminum pan in here. That'll catch the drippings, make it easier to clean up the mess. We'll slide this roast in. Turn it on, and we'll check on it in about 30 minutes to make sure nothing's burning. So while the pork is on the rotisserie, we're gonna make a nice red wine balsamic glaze. We'll drizzle it over the top when it's almost done, and then when we slice it, we can drizzle it over the slices. So we're gonna take a cup of red wine, quarter cup of balsamic vinegar, then a quarter cup of balsamic reduction glaze. You could just use more of the balsamic vinegar and reduce it down, but this is easier. Once it starts to simmer, we're going to stir it, put it on a very low simmer, let it thicken up a little bit. We still need it to be a little watery so that it'll cover the pork perfectly. So now we got this simmering, we'll start whisking it a little bit. We'll turn the heat down to low, medium low. Just keep an eye on it, stir it every couple minutes, make sure nothing's burning, and just let it reduce down. You want a nice glaze. You don't want something too thick that's going to be like syrup, but you can't be too watery and just run right off the pork. So just thicken it up slightly. All right, we'll go check on the pork. About 110 degrees. We'll let this go for 30 more minutes and then we'll start glazing it. Just hit 120 degrees. You can see this is thickened up a little bit, but it's still runny. Just start not really brushing it, you're just kind of dabbing it on. We'll put the top back on this and let it go for about 5 more minutes. After a few minutes, we're going to check the temperature. I want to pull this off about 135 and let it sit on a cutting board uncovered, because I really don't want this to raise up too much over 140. 125. We'll give this another drizzle of our balsamic red wine reduction. That just looks amazing. Make sure we're doing the sides. All right, we'll let this go for another minute or two, and then we'll pull it probably, I'm gonna say probably in 10 minutes. Should be about 135. And this thing is looking magnificent. Look at that thing. That glaze looks so good. All right, 135, we're gonna shut this off and pull it out. Look at that thing. We pulled this and let it sit for 20 minutes. Let it cool down. It cooled back down to 125 degrees. Checked it with my ThermoPen. Now we can pull the spit off, slice it, and try it. Let's cut the strings. Then we'll just top that with some more glaze, and we can try it. Look at how juicy that is. Super juicy. Oh yeah. Good flavor, super juicy, tender. I mean, that is some juicy pork right there. So once it's hit 135 degrees internal, pulled it off the rotisserie, I put it on a cutting board, and then I let it sit on just out on the counter. It rose up to about 143 degrees, and then I let it rest until it came back down about 130 degrees, 125. Then I sliced it, topped it off with the balsamic drizzle. It is excellent. This red wine balsamic glaze on the outside Has a ton of flavor, adds a little bit of sweetness. You get a little bit of the vinegar acid. You get a little acidity from the vinegar. It is really good. It's seasoned throughout. We cut it down off the bone, put the AP rub on it, tied it back up. It is really good. You should try it. If you don't have a rotisserie, you can do indirect. I'll have a link in the description for the How to Barbecue Right rubs and sauces, the Thermopen. And that's our video, so hit that like and subscribe button. All right, we'll see you same time.